you get different outcomes based on your worldview. So if the individual, and we also have the same belief, we believe in individual autonomy. But individual autonomy comes after roles and responsibility to the collective. So you have, every individual exists within family and community. We go everywhere, in different places. We create relationships and new families, adopted families, relationships with friends. But we exist within those relationships. That's the principal truth from an indigenous worldview. And so we have accountability to those relationships as well. And that's priority over what I want. And so if, like the stories I was telling people would share about addressing alcohol. My family pressured me, my community pressured me, my partner pressured me, and then I finally made a decision, and that's what I did. But it was out of those relationships that push towards getting well initiated that process, and then they made a decision and things changed. That's, you have to want it in order for it to happen. But it's in this era where individual rights take precedence. So kids don't have to listen to their parents if they don't want to. Kids don't have to do anything that they choose not to. And so then we have a disconnect in the relationship, and that's not healthy either. But a parent, might say, well, my young person is living out what they want to do, and their life is at risk, and they're doing this, that, and the other thing, and I'm not a bad parent, but my kids are still doing these things. They don't want to be judged either. Might have been the best loving family ever, but kids are going to choose what they're going to choose. And we have teachings about that. So, Erickson, he developed the psychological stages of development. And we know that at every age, there's something that's going to happen. And so for us, we also have a teaching about the developmental stages of life, but it's focused on the spiritual developmental stages of life. And we have cultural practices that facilitate the growth and development of the spirit. And if we aren't practicing that, then what happens at that adolescent stage of life is we're only focused on the physical life, which is their brains are still developing. They don't have the capacity to make informed decisions, for consequential thinking. Meaning, if I do this now, it's going to result in that. What are my other options? That's consequential thinking. At the adolescent stage of life, it's like, I want everything right now. Oh, I like that outfit, I want that. Oh, you're a good friend. No, you're not. I want you too. And who's going to like what I'm wearing or what I'm doing? And we're just running all over the place, exploring everything. And in our way of thinking, that's normal. That's what they're meant to do. Because things are still developing. And we have teachings and practices that help us understand consequential thinking. And what is most important is fasting at that stage of life. That's why the treatment program, the youth treatment program, taught fasting. And it isn't a one-time event, it's a whole bunch of activities that lead up to that. And then a whole bunch of activities that happen after that. And teaching delayed gratification is so important at the adolescent stage of life. And that's what all of those cultural practices do. And it's not young people learning by themselves or learning from the PlayStation or the Xbox or Call of Duty. We have to be in conversation and relationship with them to teach them those things. And they'll say, I don't want to do that. So my grandchildren said to me, I don't want to do that. Oh, Grandma. And, you know, I could give up because they're whining as we're going, but they are still going with me. They're whining, but I don't get pulled into it. Instead, I keep talking to them about what they're gonna get out of it. And when they finish, oh my God, they're so proud of themselves. That is the difference between individual rights and collective rights. And if we're working as family and community, and we put those practices in place, now we have more opportunity, so we're not in, no, it doesn't change everything overnight, but we're gonna have less of, I want now, to how do we facilitate what you want within what the family needs. So I'm aware of the conversation nationally about the debate between forced coerced treatment, and I understand why that happens. I know the evidence that says it doesn't work, but I have evidence and experience that says it can work, and not use the courts, but use our own values. Yeah.
All right, thank you, everybody. If you have any other questions for them, feel free to reach out to them on their email accounts.
Big wax.